There's a firm favourite with every gardener that you'll own or have in your garden at some point in your gardening career, and that is Pelargoniums. Everybody loves them, everybody wants them, and a lot of us kill them. So let's get the facts straight as to how to look after them. There are many different varieties that have been bred throughout the years in gardening, whether you call it a pelargonium, a geranium, a malva, or even just a pretty plant. It's okay. They all do the same thing, and if looked after well, will give you years and years of reward within your garden. In this little pot over here, it's a zinc basin. I've had this pelargonium called Mrs. Pollock growing in this tub for approximately 3 years. It just goes on and on. I feed it and it looks after itself. It's got some beautiful bronze carex in the background here, which really works nicely and picks up with the leaf of the pelargonium. With this little brachycomb that's here, the little mauve one that's trailing over the edge here, and it really does just soften the edges of this zinc container. A nice combination, and I love playing with grasses, which is soft, linear, with these jagged edges of the pelargonium leaves. Really wicked. So let's show you how to get it right. Let's get the basics right, and then I'm going to show you some wicked varieties that they've got, and how to troubleshoot. What do you need to look after, and what do you need to look out for? Our potting mixture is most important. In here I've got some plain potting soil, and all I'm going to add is a bit of organic pellets, 2 or 3 handfuls, and at least 3 handfuls of bone meal, and then some coconut peat or husk as it's known. Throw some of this in here. Remember, this used to be a block, and you put it into the tub, add some water into it, and then it'll just break up and turn into this beautiful, soft, friable material. So let's get this all mixed in. And as a rule, whenever I'm planting pelargoniums, I make sure that I use some of that coconut husk in it, because it does just stop the plants from going through that extreme drying out, which can happen during the spring and summer months. In fact, you're going to be hard for choice and really pushed as to your decision making when you walk into a garden centre in spring, because there are just so many varieties of these beautiful, beautiful plants. Okay, that should do it. Let's take my trug along and let's show you some magic. So I've got loads of different kinds of pelargoniums here, various varieties, and we can get quite specific with them. This is called Occult Shield. This is called Mrs. Pollock. These are varieties of different reds and white called Takari. And do we have to really worry about that? Well, my answer is no. Go along, pick the ones you love, find your favorites, get the colors that really work for you, and go wild. So we've done our preparation, we've got our potting soil ready, and now I'm going to choose some pots. And for me, you know, a pelargonium, folks, is simply in a beautiful terracotta pot. You can't go wrong. It's timeless. It'll never go in and out of fashion, like some of the other bright colors might. Planting in a terracotta pot is as close to planting in the soil as you're going to get for Mother Nature. And when I see pelargoniums and terracotta pots, I just think of those beautiful balconies in England when you're walking along those cobbled pathways, looking up and seeing the pelargoniums just oozing out of the pots. That's what I want, and that's what I want to emulate in my garden, because a lot of gardening is all about remembrance and nostalgia. So if you haven't done one of those overseas trips in a while, and you're dreaming of a beautiful garden, or you're dreaming of a trip into Italy, plant some geraniums. It helps. All right, a lovely trough, gorgeous, plain and simple. Remember, it's got its drainage hole in. All we're going to do is make sure we add in some drainage pebbles into the bottom. That should do it. And then I'm going to fill my container up halfway with some of my prepared mixture. Right, firm it down a bit. Fantastic. Now, what I'm going to use in here is this beautiful variegated variety called Mrs. Pollock. What I love about it is that even when it's not flowering, it's got this electric foliage that just jumps out at you and really grabs your attention and says, look at me, I'm quite a nice guy. So I'm going to get these into the pot. Let's take these babies out. Squeeze it, squeeze it, squeeze it. Out it comes. And pop my first little baby in here. Let's find the good side. Tell me when to stop turning. That should do, hey? There we go. One little baby in. Let's get the other guy in. And 2 would be ample in this pot because they do grow quite wide. And in height-wise, you're not going to get much taller than that. So 2 should be perfect inside this container. Remember that the soil in hanging baskets and terracotta pots can dry out very quickly. So ensure a compost-rich soil mixture and keep the plants well watered on a regular basis. Once we've got our 2 little babies in, then start filling in with some extra potting soil, using the back of your trowel to then firm it in. Remember, your pelargoniums are quite brittle and they can break very easily. So transporting from the garden centre to your home, make sure they're nice and secure in the car. And when you are planting up, that's why I always recommend to rather hold the plant back gently and then use the back of your trowel to get the soil in. All right, how do we look after these babies? Pretty simple. When you see that this flower's almost over, can you see there? It's literally, you've got the stalks left, all the petals have fallen off. What you want to do is follow that stalk all the way down to where it joins the plant. And then, with one little snap, off it comes, just like that. Remember I said they were brittle, and that's why they're so easy to look after. So this little guy is also on his way out. Follow it down, snip it off. The more you do that, the more you're going to encourage your geranium to flower, because traditionally they'll flower from the end of winter or middle of winter right through into summer and continue right until the autumn. So you are guaranteed for such a long period of time of good flowering out of your little plants. Remember, they're true perennials. So as long as you are feeding them, looking after them, deadheading them as necessary, they are going to live in this container for up to 3 years. And then they're over, past its sell-by date. Take it out, put it onto the compost heap, and put another one in. And that's the law of general perennials. So I've got this little baby. I'm going to move him over to the side. Oh, isn't it looking great? And then to show you how gorgeous they look, just simply on their own, take a pot here, pop that in, and let's go with one of these lovely whites. And let's get that into this little pot. Remember that the key to healthy plants is healthy soil. So always ensure that good quality potting soil, compost and fertilizer is being used.